Representative Nancy Mace had a not safe for work moment this week. She shared a blurred nude photo of herself during a House Oversight Committee hearing on surveillance in private places. She says the photo, which she described as a quote naked silhouette, was taken without her consent by her ex-fiance, and she's using the image to call attention to the issue and encourage other victims to come forward. Let's watch.
Justice shouldn't come in the form of real sentences, real fines, and real protection for victims. That's why I introduced the Soave Act, which creates a civil right of action for victims at the federal level. Secret recordings thrive in the shadows. These bills drag them into broad daylight. Liberty is not theory. It's the right to undress in peace, to live unrecorded without being filmed while naked. Let's make sure the law reflects that truth. We need laws with teeth, we need survivors with standing, and we need to leave predators with nowhere left to hide.
Mace says her legislation will create a civil right of action for victims. She also says it will expand the limited federal prohibition on video voyeurism.
The display is the latest in a series of explosive allegations she's made against her ex. She's accusing him and multiple others of recording videos of numerous women without permission. Mace's ex-fiancé and others have denied the accusations that she's levied against them. In a statement to The Hill, Mace's ex writes, "I categorically deny the false and outrageous claims made by Nancy Mace. This isn't advocacy, it's an abuse, exploitation of her political position for the sole purpose of promoting herself politically. Her allegations are absolutely baseless."
I like to start with, listening to women, hearing out their stories. I think privacy issues and concerns amongst women are real and valid. I do think that we should have a conversation about what the hearing was about. It focused on surveillance in private places, and that's a growing threat for women. They have pictures, even as young as
not just for women, it's a growing threat for everybody.
Yeah, but also, when it comes down to, the use of images and inappropriate images, especially for young kids with social media, there's a larger conversation about what we should consider criminal in this country or inappropriate and really condemn. And I think that that's something to point to. And whether or not you think she's doing it performatively, I think she's opening up the door for actual victims, because I don't know what her actual story in full is. And obviously this hasn't been litigated, but I think it's opening up the door for victims to come forward and know that they shouldn't feel censored and that they should, not be uncomfortable with sharing their story. And when people in higher positions do that, it really creates an opening for people to do that.
There are actually a lot of really interesting, thorny legal issues to get into here that we're unfortunately not going to have time for because we're going to have to go soon, that are much more interesting than, whatever Nancy Mace is doing.
You seem off-put by the fact that she even brought the picture up. Is it because with her ex-husband's response, you just think
I don't know whether, I don't want to litigate their relationship. I have no idea who is at fault or whatever the situation is. I do, in fact, find her a little bit attention-seeking, as do most people on the right at this point. She's kind of like Olivia Colman from The Favorite. Have you seen that scene? Look at me, look at me. Why are you looking at me? That's the impression I get from her. But I do think this is a very real issue. And obviously, if she was the victim of having, photos taken or videos taken without her consent, and then especially shared with other people, this is revenge porn. Exactly. I do think I'm an ardent First Amendment free speech person. I do think it would be okay to have new rules and new laws around revenge porn specifically. I don't think you should be allowed to share other people's nude photos and videos without their consent. I think if you do share them without their consent, there should be a burden. This is the legal issue, because let's say you post them on it's probably not on Facebook, but on Pornhub. Let's say you post them on Pornhub. Does Pornhub have the legal right, the legal obligation to take those photos and videos down? It has been unclear. Now, Pornhub will usually take them down if you ask, but if they said there are other even less reputable sites that just won't take them down, can you force them legally in the same way you can force someone to take down if they do copyright infringement? You can force them to take, if they violate your copyright, you can sue them if they don't do that.
Right.
So there might need to be new laws, exceptions to Section 230 in this narrow category to require sites or third parties or whatever to take down non-consensual photos. Yes, I am generally supportive of a legislative approach there.
And if the goal for this is to start to protect privacy in that aspect, and she's adding this or thinking about adding this to the conversation, I think that the broader conversation that opens up doors for victims is more important than litigating her and her ex-fiance's drama and seeing which parts of it are true or false, right? That's not up to us. They could take it to court if it's that serious.
Yeah, that's fine. But there's an issue with her trying to, again, litigate accusations of wrongdoing or criminal wrongdoing against her personally. in the Congress chambers, because you have broad rights to say things that may or may not be true and not be subject to libel lawsuits if you say them in Congress because of the way the Constitution works. And some people are wondering if she's making accusations she couldn't prove in court that would open her up to something. She's doing them in Congress where she has that kind of protection. Doesn't mean it's not an important issue. That does it for us today on Rising. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any of our content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're available anywhere you can listen to podcasts. That does it for us for the week. Or are you on tomorrow?
I'm not here tomorrow, but I
Different
had fun
people
with you
tomorrow.
guys.
See you later.